This video is not sponsored by Pila, however, Pila sent me this unit. Today, I'll be reviewing a revolutionary appliance called Lomi. Welcome to my first ever kitchen tech review. My name is Manny and this is Grubanny. This appliance will turn your waste into a nutrient-rich dirt that kinda looks like soil and can be added to your plants. Don't believe me? Keep watching. My unit arrived in a perfectly sealed box that was undamaged. On the side of the box, you'll find a list of approved things that can go into Lomi. The list includes everything from apple cores, orange peels, and scraps from your soup. There's also a perforated section for your box handle. This makes it easier to carry. Oh yeah, and Lomi is made by Pila. It's a wonderful company. Look it up. We're done with the exterior. Let's check out what's inside. This is my first ever kitchen tech review, so let me know how I'm doing in the comment section below. So inside the box, you would find a quick guide and an instruction manual. And unlike your favorite tech reviewer, do not throw these away, especially the quick guide, as you'll find that you'll keep referring back to this for like a week or so. So quickly take a picture of this in case you lose yours in the future. Let's set these aside for now. The next layer, as we look deeper inside the box, is a biodegradable crate that protects the unit and keeps everything intact. It's important to note that this crate, as well as the crate under the unit, can be broken down and put into Lomi. The next layer is a plastic bag that also protects the unit. You'll be happy to note that this is not just any plastic bag. It's 100% biodegradable and can go into Lomi. Next, you'll find a box containing 2 packs of activated charcoal for your Lomi filters. There's a pattern I've noticed with this company, and it's a good one. They always put some instructions on the packaging, and that's really helpful. As we dig deeper inside the box, you find a thick, high-quality 300-volt 3-prong power cord. They probably make African and European style power cords as well. The next item in the box is a packet of what Lomi calls Lomi pods. In the packet, you'd find 45 tablets that contain beneficial microbes which accelerate the dirt creation process. Like I mentioned earlier, they have instructions written on the packet as well. Now let's check out the main unit. As expected, the main unit is quite heavy and large, but it comes in this beautiful satin off-white color that makes it look like an appliance from the future. There's no touchscreen or haptic feedback, but there's a single well-placed button with a very satisfying clicky feedback. I'm not an engineer or designer, but from what I can tell, it's made from high-quality materials. The design is so simplistic and it looks kind of like an Apple product. Let's go ahead and open it. Opening the unit is not intuitive but quite easy, and as you can see, padlock symbols are printed on the unit to guide you. When the unit is closed, the locked padlock symbol will be aligned with the triangle at the bottom. To open the lid, twist it counterclockwise until the open padlock symbol goes past the triangle at the bottom, then lift up. You'll quickly get used to it, but all you have to remember is when the triangle assigned to the locked padlock symbol is aligned with the triangle at the bottom, it's locked. And when the triangle assigned to the open padlock symbol is aligned with the triangle at the bottom, it's open. Check this out. This is the only button that's used to operate the entire machine. The outer ring of the button lights up to indicate the different statuses of the machine. Oh, and before I forget, the word Lomi is stamped on the front of the machine. It's quite inconspicuous but well placed. We're done with the front. Now let's take a look at the back of the appliance. So on the back of the machine, you'll find a vent. This is where the rear filter is housed. At the lower right of the machine, you'll find your male power inlet receptacle, and that's where you plug in your cord. At the bottom of the machine, you'll find 4 sturdy rubber non-slip pads. These are great for keeping the appliance in place, so even when a child or a cat tries to push it down, it'll stay in place. Check it out. This bad boy is going nowhere. Now for the part you've been waiting for, let's take a look inside. Once you take the lid off, you'll find a compartment with a tab right on top of it. This is where the second filter is housed. To remove the filter housing, grab the tab and pull upwards. Just like the filter at the back of the machine, this one also has vents. We'll talk more about the filters when we return. Inside your Lomi, you'll find some grinders, and these grinders help to physically break down waste. The grinding and turning also aerates the dirt, thereby providing an oxygen-rich environment for the microbes from the Lomi pod. The grinding chamber is actually a bucket, and it's removable. It comes with a handle with which you could pull it out. Here's the bucket, and it comes with a gear underneath it. This, you can tell, is really well made. That's how dads perform their quality check. It's heavy and it feels like it's made with some kind of cast iron material. Inside the Lomi, you'll find the corresponding gears for the gears on the bucket. When you insert the bucket correctly, you hear a click. To insert the bucket correctly, the red triangle on the bucket has to align with the triangle on the unit. Now let's take a look at the filter at the back of the unit. To access the rear filter, push down on the latch and pull the door out. Place your thumb in the notch of the filter housing, pull up and pull backwards. Here's the rear filter housing, and just like the filter housing at the top, it has some vents. And as you've noticed, both filter housings have different shapes. There's also a notch at the top with which you could pull out the housing. And on both sides of the housing, you'll find wing nuts that hold the housing and the cover together. To open the housing, you can twist the wing nuts loose with your fingers. You don't need a special tool for that. Place your thumb in the notch and lift off the cover. If you look inside the filter for the rear housing, you'll notice it has vents as well. For the rear filter, this is where the activated charcoal would go. In the box, you'd find 2 packs of activated charcoal, one for the rear and one for the top filter. If you know anything about activated charcoal, you know they're good for eliminating or reducing odors. Change these every 3 months. If you're clumsy, you could end up staining your countertop, so place a paper towel on the surface before pouring in your charcoal. We'll start with the rear filter, then we'll move on to the top filter. Cut the bag open with a pair of scissors. Carefully pour in your activated charcoal. Try not to overfill it. I believe there's an inconspicuous fill line. If you have any leftovers, twist the bag shut and store it in a cool, dry place. When these are exhausted, you can buy more from Lomi. This is what an activated charcoal pellet looks like. These can also go into Lomi. Just make sure you mix them with some food waste. Now we're going to place the cover back on and seal it shut with the wing nuts. If you end up staining your filter housing, wipe it clean with a damp paper towel. The side that's curved should be facing outwards when reinstalling your filter housing. The filter door is easy to install. All you have to do is align the tabs at the bottom with the notches on the unit. When that's done, push down on the latch at the top and push forward. That's it for the rear filter. Let's move on to the filter at the top. The top filter looks significantly different from the filter at the back of the appliance. This filter also has 2 vents. It has one at the top that goes directly into the bucket and one at the bottom that goes directly to the base of the unit. It's easier and quicker to open since it doesn't come with wing nuts, but it has a directional arrow with a padlock symbol that shows you how to open and how to lock it. It's really easy to open. All you have to do is go in the opposite direction of the arrow. Let's fill it up. The top filter has a fill line. It's best not to go above the fill line so you don't obstruct the top vent. To lock it, twist the cap in the direction of the padlock symbol. Wipe it down and reinsert. Welcome back and thanks for sticking around. Now let's move on to filling up Lomi with our food scraps. Keep in mind that Lomi can also convert approved plastics into dirt, but today we'll be sticking with food scraps. Over here I have a whole fennel that's gone bad, but rather than waste it, I'm going to reclaim it by turning it into dirt for my plants using Lomi. To make it easier for Lomi, I'm going to break it down into smaller pieces. combining scraps from my fennel, my previous video, and from the dinner I just fed my guests. Keep in mind that not everything can go into Lomi. Really pushing it here with the corn husks. Once you've broken down all of your wastes into smaller pieces, go ahead and add them into the bucket or the waste chamber. Oh yeah, banana peels are also approved to go into Lomi. Try not to go past the fill line. The charcoal bag is also a Lomi approved bioplastic. Break it down into smaller pieces, then tuck the pieces around the sides of the bucket. Always combine Lomi approved bioplastics with food wastes. Let's talk about Lomi pods. These tablets in conjunction with the grinders accelerate the dirt creation process. When you open the pack, you'll find 45 tablets. Do not consume them and keep them away from children. These tablets contain beneficial microbes and they should only be used in grow mode. The dirt you get from grow mode is the only dirt you should be adding to your plants. The good news is when you run out of these, you can order more from Peeler. I'll leave some useful links in the description box below. Since I'm running this in grow mode, I'm going to add just one tablet over the top of my waste. Now I'm going to carefully measure 3 tablespoons of water and pour them directly over the top of my Lomi pod. Expect an effervescent reaction once the water touches the tablet. Don't be alarmed, it's a normal reaction. Before you put on the lid, don't forget to remove the sticker inside the bucket. Close the lid and lock it tight. Lomi pods come in a resealable pack. Seal them up and store them in a cool, dry place. Connect the female receptacle to the male receptacle at the bottom of the unit and plug it in. Lomi has 3 modes. The first is the Eco Express mode, which is used to break down and reduce waste. The second is Lomi approved mode for bioplastics and packaging. The third is Grow mode, which produces nutrient-rich dirt for your plants. To change modes, all you have to do is press and hold the button for at least 3 seconds. You'll hear a beep confirming the mode change. For this video, I'm only using 2 modes, the Eco Express mode and the Grow mode. Now let's run Lomi and see the results we get. Give it a quick press to start the cycle. Go grab a cup of my dandelion coffee while Lomi does its thing. Welcome back. It's the next day and Lomi has completed 2 full cycles. When Lomi completes a cycle, you hear a loud beep and all of the lights around the button will turn green. Although I didn't show it, the first cycle I ran was in the Eco Express mode. Let's open this up and see what results we got. Wow, this is really good. It actually looks like broken down dried leaves and twigs in the winter. Remember that this cycle was run in Eco Express mode, so don't add this waste to your plants. Throw this in your compost bin. Lomi really did a good job with reducing the amount of waste. Now let's check out the results from the cycle we ran in Grow mode. Remember, the dirt from Grow mode is what you can add to your plants. Just check this out. This is mind-blowing. It actually looks and feels like soil. You know what? Let me dump it out so you can see the results clearer. Whoa, the odor is actually gone and it's been replaced with the smell of brownies? Okay, I'm officially confused. Let's take a closer look. Lomi recommends you mix this dirt with some soil before adding it to your plants, and that's at a 10:1 ratio in favor of the soil. This is actually quite impressive. I still can see bits and pieces of the activated charcoal bag, but outside of that, it looks like I dug this out of my backyard. This is shocking and amazing. With Lomi, you truly can revolutionize the way you deal with waste. This appliance is truly revolutionary, and it only shows how far we've come as human beings. However, there's some pros and cons I feel I must mention. Some of the pros include the design. It's beautiful, it's simplistic, and it looks like it's from the future. This will really look good in your kitchen. The functionality. It works, it does what it's supposed to do, and it's easy to use. And finally, it's somewhat green, and I say somewhat because it uses electricity, and that brings us to the cons. The size. It's quite large, which is understandable because you need to be able to cram in as much waste as possible, and when you compare it to a traditional compost maker, this is small. But then again, if you're keeping it in your kitchen, you need to have some space on your countertop. I recommend you keep this in your garage if you have one. Cost. This is quite expensive, and not everyone can afford it. As of the time of this video, this is $4.99. That's like $500. Carbon footprint. Compared to traditional composting, this appliance uses electricity, but according to Lomi, the express cycle uses less than 1 kilowatt per hour, which is around half of what the average dishwasher consumes per cycle. As for the longest mode, which is the grow mode, I don't have the numbers, but I'm pretty sure it consumes a decent amount of electricity. But then again, I don't see anyone running the grow mode over and over again unless you need to add some dirt to your plants. So what's the verdict? Well, I'll leave that up to you to decide, but just keep in mind that this is a kitchen appliance, just like every other electrical kitchen appliance you have sitting on your countertop. Now, was I paid to say all of this? Definitely no. Are my opinions skewed because I got this unit for review from Lomi? No. Personally, I love Pillar, and I think it's a great company. The people at Pillar are working hard to reduce waste and to make this world a healthier world for this generation and generations to come. If you have any questions or you're interested in checking out Lomi or even buying it, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching this video in its entirety. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is my first ever kitchen tech review video, so let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more videos about kitchen appliances or other appliances or devices, please let me know in the comment section as well. Otherwise, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all next week. This is what Lomi sounds like from 1 foot away. This is what Lomi sounds like from 6 feet away.